My name's Ethan, and I'm 19. I'm just your average guy dealing with life's ups and downs. I live with my dad, Marcus, who's an architect and is always busy with work. My mom passed away when I was young, so for a long time, it was just the two of us. But a few years ago, everything changed when Marcus remarried. Her name's Lauren. She's nothing like the stereotypical stepmom, young, sharp, and more of a friend than a parental figure. Lately, though, things between us have become complicated. Let me take you back to the day that started it all. It was a lazy Saturday afternoon. Marcus was out of town for a project, and Lauren had stepped out to run errands. I didn't mind the quiet, I was used to being alone. I spent the afternoon in my room, scrolling through my phone and enjoying the silence of the house. Fresh out of the shower, I lounged on my bed, my hair still damp, flipping through random apps and lost in my thoughts. The house was unnervingly quiet, not even the faint hum of the fridge in the kitchen. I brushed off the strange tension I felt, then I heard a knock at the door. It was a soft, hesitant tap. I froze, my first instinct. I was about to grab a shirt, but I stopped because I was curious. The door creaked open, and there she was, Lauren standing in the doorway, looking at me in a way I'd never seen before. She was dressed casually, a light sweater, jeans, and her dark hair falling loosely over. I was about to grab a shirt, but I stopped when I saw her. The door opened, and there she was, Lauren. She looked at me in a way I'd never seen before. She was dressed casually, a light sweater, jeans, and her dark hair falling loosely around her shoulders. We didn't say anything for a moment. "Sorry," she said, her voice soft and almost unsure. "I didn't mean to interrupt." I was caught off guard. I fumbled for words. No. It's okay. I wasn't expecting anyone." I reached for my shirt, but something about her expression stopped me. For a second, I didn't say anything. I felt kind of bad, so I apologized. "No, it's okay. I wasn't expecting anyone." I tried to take my shirt off, but I stopped because of the way she was looking at me. She wasn't mad or embarrassed. There was just this intense look in her eyes that made my heart start pounding. "You should have locked the door," she said, stepping into the room. I could tell she was upset, but I wasn't sure how to describe it. I was frozen, and my heart was beating really fast. I didn't know what to do, but I didn't want to leave. Then, she touched my arm really quickly with her hand. "I know," she said. She looked at me for a second, and it felt like time stopped. The silence between us was electric. The air was thick with unspoken words. "Lauren," I stammered, unsure of what to say, but before I could finish, she stepped back, breaking the moment. "We can't," she said, her voice trembling. "This isn't right." She turned quickly and left the room, her footsteps fading down the hall. I stood there, my chest tight with the weight of what had just happened pressing down on me. Over the next few days, I couldn't shake the memory of that moment. It wasn't just the touch, it was the look in her eyes, the connection we both felt but couldn't admit. I avoided her as much as I could. It's possible, but every time our paths crossed, the tension was unbearable. One evening, Marcus was working late, leaving just Lauren and me at home. I sat on the couch flipping through channels, trying to distract myself, when she walked into the living room. "Hey, I'll sit down next to you, if that's okay," she said. "No, of course not," I replied, though my voice betrayed my nervousness. We sat in silence. The TV flickered in the background, and the air between us was thick. Every unspoken word hung like a storm cloud. "The other day," Lauren began. I was nervous and didn't know if I was ready for this conversation. I was confused about what happened. I thought I knew, but she cut me off. Her hand brushed against mine, and I shivered. "I can't stop thinking about it." She admitted it, barely audible. I was nervous. I wasn't sure if I was ready for this conversation. "I don't know what happened." I do, but she cut me off. Her hand brushed against mine, and I shivered. "I can't stop thinking about it." She admitted, her voice barely audible. Lauren, I said, my voice shaky. I don't know what this is, but I feel the same way. Her breath hitched, and she leaned in. Her lips brushed against mine in the softest, most hesitant kiss. My hands found her waist, pulling her closer. The world. Lauren's words made my heart race. I said, my voice shaky, I don't know what's going on, but I feel the same way. Her breath hitched, and she leaned in, her lips brushing against mine in a soft, hesitant kiss. My hands found her waist, pulling her closer. The world faded around us, but just as quickly, she pulled away. Her eyes were wide with regret. We can't do this, she whispered. It's wrong. I knew she was right, but the pull between us was undeniable. I don't care, I said. I can't stop feeling this way. She looked at me, her gaze filled with. She pulled away, looking regretful. We can't do this, she whispered. It's wrong. I knew she was right, but we had a strong connection. I don't care, I said. I can't stop feeling this way. She looked at me, her gaze filled with longing and guilt. We have to stop, Ethan, she said firmly. For your dad's sake, for all of us. She stood, her hands trembling as she brushed her hair back. This can't happen again. And just like that, she was gone, leaving me to deal with what had just happened.